What's up, lifelong learners? It's your boy Mr. Heng, and I'm back with another video. Today what I'm gonna do here is I got the Rode Wireless Go 2 connected to my computer, and I'm gonna walk you through the Rode Central app. But before we do that, I gotta roll my intro so you get to know who I is. Since 2006, I've been teaching high school kids how to transform their lives through education. So consider subscribing and join the mission to make the hood all good. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that intro, get to know me a little bit, you know what I mean? And so right now I'm just gonna walk you through the app. Everything is connected already, both transmitters and the receiver is connected or are connected. See, that's why I'm a math major. Alright, so now we're looking at the app, right? And the app here shows that there's transmitter 1, transmitter 1 and transmitter 2. So when you connect, it's gonna ask you to update. It doesn't matter if you connect them one at a time or all of them at the same time. The Rode Central app will automatically connect with them and update them if they need to be updated. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna click this arrow here for the transmitter. TX stands for transmitter, RX stands for receiver. Click on that. What you're gonna do here is you're gonna see any recording that had been recorded onto the onboard recorder, but we didn't have that turned on because it's brand new. So what you're gonna have to do is click this gear icon right here. And then you're gonna have the option to turn on or turn off the onboard recording. Okay, I'm gonna have one turned on, but I'm gonna have number 2 turned off. And I'm gonna show you why in a little bit. The next thing here is the mute lock. The mute lock is basically, there's a button on the Rode Wireless Go. This little button right here, it's what's gonna affect the mute lock button, okay? So I'm gonna have this one turned on as well. And then you're gonna see what happens when I use this with the Rode Wireless Go receiver. Okay, so this is me recording on a different day and on my iPad Pro here. I wasn't able to get the camera to focus on this and see it very well, so here we go. So now that I have transmitter 1 with the mute lock on, what I'm not able to do is this. The transmitter 1 is not able to mute and unmute itself, okay? And then the transmitter 2 is able to mute and unmute itself, so I recommend that you just leave it off. And here's the reason why. The advantage is this, okay? With transmitter 1, if you want to mute it, you have to click this button right here. See that button, that 1, 2? Click on that, select transmitter 1, and then click the mute button. See the mute button right there on the receiver. Now with number 2, if I switch over to number 2, if number 2 mute itself, I can unmute it, or I can mute it, or number 2 can unmute themselves. So you have more flexibility when you have it turned off. So that is the advantage, and I'll go back to my regular video now. And then there's the battery level. There is the recording of compressed or uncompressed audio. So I'm gonna choose uncompressed audio because I want the highest quality audio possible as a backup in case if something cuts out, you know, the transmitter gets blocked or whatever, or the receiver gets blocked, you will have cutout. Line of sight is very important that you have line of sight, okay? Because I've cut it out so many times without line of sight. I was like the first person to do that on the show floor at NAB, okay? And then of course here, once you update, the clock gets updated, the date gets updated, you can refresh it if you want, and there's the firmware version. It'll tell you if it's up to date or not, and here's the hardware number. Okay, so each hardware gets a number. And I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna go to the transmitter number 2, and I'm going to leave everything off for this one, okay? So now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to disconnect both transmitters, and I'm gonna leave the receiver on. Once I disconnected both the Rode Wireless Go transmitters, I have my receiver connected, and I automatically went into the setting. And so the first setting you have here is the on and off button for the backlight. So if you see here, you can adjust the backlight of that LCD screen. The gain mode is like probably one of my favorite, and it saves me all the time because I'm a very loud person. And what you can do is you can set this to coarse, which is low, medium, high kind of thing. And then you can set it to fine, which gives you 10 sets of control. I use -24, but it can go all the way down to -30. Or you can go to, if you're a really soft-spoken person, you might want to be around 0. Okay, but I know that I'm a very loud person, so I'm gonna set mine -21, -24-ish, somewhere around there, because I'm a very loud person. And then this is automatically set on split mode once they ship. Split mode just means that you have these two transmitters that are transmitting to left and right channel. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. I am holding the transmitter number 1 and I'm gonna tap it. Now I am holding transmitter number 2 and I'm going to tap it. All right, so that is split mode. Okay, so what if I decided, hey, I want this to be in merge mode? What is that going to look like instead? When you click on merge mode, what it does is it takes the channel 1 and channel 2, or left channel and right channel, and merge them together to be one track. So once you have this in merged mode, what you're going to have here is me tapping the transmitter number 1 and me tapping transmitter number 2. You can see how the meters are moving. There's only 1 meter now instead of 2. So that's basically what is merge mode. So for more control, I would keep this on split mode, but then there is an advantage to merge mode. Okay, merge mode allows you to have this thing called the safety track. All right, and safety track is this next feature right here. When you click on safety track, and I'm going to show you here, when you have the safety track turned on, what's going to happen here is you can record a track that is going to be, okay, so let's say merge mode, right? You merge the two audio together and then you have left and right channel, but you hear the same thing on your left and right ear. When you're in split mode, you hear two different things on left and right ear. So that is the reason why you have these two options. And then when you have a safety track, whatever you hear on your left, you hear on your right. But what happened here is the safety track is lowered. The loudness is lowered. So I'm thinking the right track is going to be lowered and the left track is going to sound normal. So that is used when you have a loud person and a soft person. Let's say the loud person might clip and you want this to be on merge mode. I would just go split mode. If you have a loud and a soft person, I can independently work with them. But however, you want to make sure that you have a safety track just in case if that loud person gets way too loud and they clip, and the soft person is, or a person who speaks normal is not too loud. So that is how you save yourself from a lot of headache when there's clipping. Okay, so that is the reason why you have the safety track. So unfortunately, you are not able to see it on here, but it is what it is. And but you do see that the icon shows. You can see there's like a little icon right here. It's like a little bright, but you can see that there is safety track turned on because you see a bar that's higher and a bar that's lower. And then the backlight button, you could turn it on to backlight or marker. If you're afraid of having something cut out, right? What you can do is you can use the marker. And then when you hear something cut out, you can click on the marker, and then whatever gets recorded onto the transmitter, that is where you can find your marker, and then you can, adjust your audio when you're in post-production. So that is basically the walkthrough of the Rode Central app. I know it might be a little long, but I want to make sure that people who are like beginner, they get this. All right. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Your boy's here to help you learn. And, I'm also learning at the same time. And if there are any new features that pop up here, let me know in the comments down below as well. All right. So without further ado, we're going to say goodbye. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. anything that is that I use in my production is linked in the descriptions down below. If you purchase through those descriptions, you would help me keep the channel going and at the same time help my classroom. All right, so now we'll say goodbye. For those of you who are new, get your hands ready and follow along. For those of you who are returning, you know how we do it. Rock, paper, peace. Let's hang out again in the next video.